Morning, everybody. Good Monday. Yes, it's Monday. It is the 17th day of July. So glad you're out there and tuned in to this, the first of the two best hours of local live talk radio right here in East Mississippi and West Alabama. Roger B. with you, along with Say Hi to the Gang. We have Rob Atkinson.
Hello, sir.
All right. Looks like you survived another weekend in Meehan.
Yeah, we have no water this morning.
No water. The water supply's been cut off in Meehan. We were going to get back to that story in just a moment. But first, welcome to their show. Here he is, the rest of the gang. Say hi to Charles Frazier.
Good morning.
How you doing, sir?
I'm fine. I'm moving over from Rob. He's a little stinky.
Do you have water?
No, I actually did get a shower this morning.
Okay, yeah. No. How did you get a shower with no water?
Because I use the last of the water in the community. So I'm
Wow.
not going to win.
So what did Nikki say about that? Yeah,
I'll
okay.
answer for that later.
You won't be going home. But yeah.
Yeah.
What's that cheap hotel down there? Got a special going on?
There's a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. That's true. How would you know? Man, digging it.
And the hits just keep on going.
I can tell.
You're going to run for corner next, aren't you?
This is going to be a great day, I can tell.
10 minutes in, I like it.
All right. We're there.
I am excited because he was here to talk about his bicycle ride around Mississippi. I guess it's more than just a bicycle; it's a cycle. Because it's got the skinnier tires. A bicycle just has fat tires. This is skinny tires. It's a cycle.
Is that how they define it?
I don't know. That's how I define it.
Bi or sickle. There's a unicycle or a bicycle. But,
I didn't know. Okay.
But Ed Abdella is going to be here and talk with us and let us know about how the trip went and give us a report. And also we got a candidate coming in at 8 o'clock, Rob.
That's right. We got Chick Johnson. I can't say Gary. I can't do it. It's Chick.
Well,
Everybody
we started
knows
talking
Chick.
about Gary, and I'm like, who is this Gary? And you're like, Chick. I was of
Trying
course.
to be all prim and proper.
Gary.
Chick Johnson coming in here.
Yeah,
He's a candidate, isn't he? For
Democratic candidate for a District 1 Justice Court judge. Also looking to win that ticket there and going on to the general election. So we'll visit with him a little after 8 o'clock this morning. We've got to announce our winner of the Star, Stripes, and Sizzle sweepstakes. We've got that to give away
Today's
this morning.
the day.
Today's the day.
We give away the Blackstone griddle.
Yep, it's over here.
We got it.
Oh, yeah, it's
All
right
right.
there.
It's in the studio. It was trucked in yesterday. No, it was Friday. It was trucked in, and after the rail car dropped it off and the airplane flew it in the airport, it was just we finally got the grill here.
Okay, all right.
The supply chain is just has been successful. Now, so when do you think? Well, I know we don't want to give it away because as far as when we'll give it away, do we want to give away when we're going to give it away?
Yeah, let's give it away next hour. When we get
Okay.
our guests all squared away,
Yeah.
we'll give it away after that. So
I like that.
A little after 8:30. How about that?
That works for
Give it away.
me. So be listening because you might be, if you registered, they had to register online, did they not?
That's right. WALTmeridian.com.
All right. There's going to be other giveaways too, folks, coming up, so be ready to sign up. Some of them might include even not coupons, but
Coupons?
cards to, like fine restaurants in Meridian.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that look.
What do we?
What?
Hint,
How about
hint.
moving companies, huh? Well, maybe flights somewhere.
There's nothing quite very exotic about moving, but nice dinner.
There's a $25 gift card for a moving company.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Well, that's wonderful.
That'll get the estimator to the house.
I was about to say, what's that going to get you?
Man, I'm telling you, rough crowd here today, folks. It's going to be a good day. We want to hear from you, by the way. 601-485-9191 is our talk line. 601-485-9191. And before we go any further, let me just do this, folks, because this is the 17th day of July.
Come on!
And years ago came into this world my dear bride, Debbie Burke. So happy birthday to my dear wife, Debbie.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, dear. And got you a griddle. No.
Oh,
It just so happens, right?
So
How about
that's that name we selected.
And the winner is Debbie Burke.
Just be listening.
Happy
honey.
birthday.
No, we do things right in this radio station. Family and friends and associates and employees not eligible. So anyway,
Okay.
well, no, happy birthday to her, and of course, celebration later. All right.
And also, we were really busy Friday sending out invitations, too, for more guests to come on the show. As I know we had our first round of visits with a lot of the candidates here in Lauderdale County, but we sent out a second invitation and get a second visit from everybody. And we heard back from a good chunk of those folks. And it's going to be a very busy next 2 weeks. The calendar is filling up quickly. And
August 8 is around the corner.
And also wanted to go ahead and throw this one out there that we did send out an invitation to both of the candidates for sheriff in Lauderdale County on the Republican side. We sent out an email to both Ricky Roberts and Ward Calhoun extending the invitation for a Q&A type show one morning, and we actually gave the date of July the 25th. Here on Mornings of Meridian, which would be exactly 2 weeks away from the primary. And we did receive a response from Ward Calhoun. Actually got that response last night. He just wanted to thank us for the opportunity to appear on Mornings of Meridian, and he's looking forward to discussing the issues and answering questions. So, that's the response we've gotten from that side, and we've yet to hear from the Roberts campaign yet. So, so the invitation has been extended. And there you go.
Mornings in Meridian, we extend the invitation for you, too, to be on the show by simply picking up that phone or, slipping it out of your back pocket wherever your phone is kept there and, thumbing the numbers 601-485 9191 601-485-9191.
And guys, looking at the schedule for this week, of course, the High Sheriff will be here tomorrow for his monthly visit. That'll be as we get the show going tomorrow. Also, J.J. Anders, candidate for District 1 Supervisor, he's going to be on the show Wednesday. Merritt Berry will be here on Thursday to discuss his candidacy for District 1 Justice Court Judge. And Ben Shirley, who's running for the House District, I believe it's 81, will be here on Friday. We got Josh Todd next week, another supervisor candidate seeking re-election. Kenneth Graham for coroner, and yes, I am working on the coroner candidates. And Charles Graham will be here next Thursday. Of course, he's also running for Justice Court District 1 on the Republican side. So that's kind of a preview of who is going to be on the show the next couple of weeks.
I have to say, Ben Shirley is the only person who's running for office that has got past our dog.
Really? Look at you.
That's right. So, got there and got by the house there, but we're kind of tucked away in a quiet little corner of our community. Well, we want you to be part of our show, and of course, oh my goodness, he's already here. He's arriving, ladies and gentlemen.
He's like, stop it.
Oh, okay. Our guest is early, but we'll get him out here on the microphone before too long. But glad to have our guest arrive, and we'll be talking with them in just a little bit. Other than that, the topics that have hit the news headlines over the weekend. We can talk about some of those, but first let's talk about who makes this show possible. Some good folks. I'm going to talk about, I want Charles to talk about Doug Martin Sr. and Doug Martin Jr.
Well, everybody's talking about him.
Yes.
Yes, indeed, because their signs are all over. There are more signs out there for Martin Roofing than there are for corners. It's like the third, I think, corner.
You're on a roll this morning. I love it.
And it's not even 20 minutes in. Of course, Martin Roofing been doing roofing right for over 30 years, locally owned and operated, licensed in the state of Mississippi, take pride in standing behind their work from start through cleanup, and I mean cleanup. It's like they were never there, except for you've got a brand new roof. Give them a call today for a free estimate, 601-485-5920. Of course, they'll come by and inspect your roof for damage as well. Doug Martin Jr., Doug Martin Sr., they've been doing it a long time, and everybody uses them. 601-485-5920. And, of course, they are a member of the Better Business Bureau because they are a better business. Martin Roofing.
Martin Roofing. Give them a call. Our number here, 601-485-9191. That's our talk line. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show.
Mabel.
Yes.
Me, those people out there saying that little girl was not my granddaughter, they keep telling me I got 7. You missed that one.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, Biden and the little girl he was sitting there munching on.
Oh, the Finnish girl. Yes, that was a little odd. Mm-hmm.
That was kind of,
I see where you're going. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, he thought it was his 7th grandchild.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
All little girls out there, run away quick.
Yeah.
Biden's on the loose.
Another weird moment with the president.
Yeah.
Stranger danger.
Stranger danger.
Did you see the footage of that?
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I was just
creepy.
like, I was like, oh my God. I mean, it was so weird.
Yeah, it
but,
was.
You know,
it's
another weird thing he does. You know.
You know, if you're into that kind of thing, you know, like keep it in the White House. You know, not out in public.
Well, Joe
In
Biden,
the Oval Office, sort of like a la Bill Clinton.
Biden was in heaven yesterday. It was National Ice Cream Day yesterday.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The memo.
Missed that.
Was, yes.
Missed that.
Yeah,
Green
you had
show.
to have Finnish ice cream.
Finnish ice cream.
I guess they got a lot of ice up there anyway.
A lot of ice and not a whole lot of cream.
Well, once again, the president showing us, giving us more reasons why he shouldn't have been president, but because of the number of people we share this country with that don't quite get it, he is there.
Well, you look at him. Here he is. He won't even acknowledge a child that is of his blood. But he's out there nibbling on kids from foreign countries? Come on, man.
You know, I would just say this. If you're president of any nation, I think there should be no child nibbling.
The no nibbling rule?
I think there should be a no nibbling rule.
No nibbling for politicians.
Sniffing. Well, you know, you can't come up behind the president of Lower Soblovia's wife and sniff her hair.
Oh, you can?
No, you're not supposed to do that.
Well, I think, you know, even beyond presidents, I think that's sort of just a societal norm is that you don't go up to a strange kid and start nibbling. I mean, that's just my opinion. I mean, have you ever done that, Roger?
I
Do you
have
do that?
never done that.
He's the nibbler.
No
Here he comes.
nibbling.
Hide your
Well,
children.
wait a minute. You just said norm. That you know, you're talking about a liberal Democrat. There is nothing in norm about them. Sorry.
Well, that's probably true.
If you cannot define what a woman is, you lost.
Or what a grandchild is, for that matter. You can't define that.
Or a grandchild. You know.
Well,
Come
there
on,
you have
people.
it. All right. Well,
Just a little common sense would help.
well, thank you for bringing that to our attention, and we'll get a memo to the White House and say, by and large, we're against that.
Against nibbling.
We're
anti-nibblers.
Child nibbling should be a major felony.
I'll just go this. I don't think a president should nibble anybody.
Well, I
I mean, that's just my take on it now.
Works for me.
Yeah.
okay.
Get me out of here, Mabel.
Mabel?
Okay. Mornings in Meridian 601. You never know how the day's going to start, do you? We went all the way from list of candidates to child nibbling.
I know.
With a griddle in between.
And with the griddle in between.
Anyway, glad you're out there, folks, and you too can be part of the show. 601-485-9191. What do you think? Donald Trump still not wanting to do that debate thing.
Yeah.
What do you think about it? How you feel about that, Charles? Donald Trump saying, no, I don't need a debate right now. Got a pretty good lead.
Well, why would he? I mean, and I think that my mic just went in and out. What's going on here?
You shouldn't.
Anyway,
Are you back?
I'm back, I think.
Okay.
Hey, but I mean, you've got a lot of candidates who are polling at 2-3%, something like that, and so he's the big target, and he knows he's the big target. So all he's going to do is get a whole lot of grief at the debate. A lot of questions pointed to him, a lot of criticisms towards him, and so. As I've said before, I'm not a huge fan of Trump, but I also understand why he would not do that. Is it the wisest move politically? I don't know. We can look at that and Monday morning quarterback it and say, yes, it was, no, it wasn't. But, I understand when you have that much of a commanding lead, you're jeopardizing the lead. You're not going to make the lead any larger, I don't think, by participating in the debate. All you can do is kind of give other candidates the opportunity to chip away at him and his lead.
I think what's hilarious is you have about, was it 13 or 14 candidates now?
Actually went up to 19. I'm just kidding.
47.
How many else have jumped in the race?
Good Lord.
What I find it interesting is, you have Christie, who's really trying to make himself relevant, and he's just talking about Trump and the debate, and all this kind of stuff. But you're down there with 1% polling, and you're really just kind of. You're just swinging out there. You're just trying to fight. You're trying to make a point. But I just don't see much. I don't see much future for Christie in this campaign.
Well, and the bottom line too is to qualify to be on the debate stage, you got to meet certain criteria from the RNC to be able to be on that debate stage. I think it's a certain amount of, I guess, donors you have, money or whatnot. I mean, that's what this whole thing boils down to. So. A lot of those folks are not going to be on the stage. Obviously, DeSantis will be there. I think Tim Scott has qualified to be on the stage because he's actually done very well in fundraising, which is a little bit surprising for him. Ramaswamy is going to be on the stage. He's done very well as far as fundraising has gone. Beyond that, I think Nikki Haley is also qualified. So you'll probably have a stage full of maybe 7, 8 tops. A lot of the folks like a Larry Elder or maybe Asa Hutchinson probably won't be on the stage that night. But
one who has not done all that well, surprisingly at this point, as far as fundraising, is Mike Pence. He's down there in about the 1.2 million overall.
Yeah,
it's like,
he's not.
I know it's still
well.
early. I know we're talking about presidential campaigning before. I mean, we're well over a year out from the actual election.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, August, I believe it's 23rd, I believe, if I'm correct on that.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, that Fox is going to do that debate there. So.
And speaking of our one of our favorite affiliates, Fox, they are going to be having a new lineup tonight on their television program.
Yeah, starts tonight at 6. Laura Ingraham is going to move to an earlier time slot at 6, and then Jesse Waters is going to take over the Tucker Carlson time slot at 7, and then of course Sean Hannity still at 8, and then my man Greg Gutfeld moves up an hour earlier to 9.
I might be able to catch a little bit of him now.
Yeah.
Now that his time slots changed a little bit, that might be good.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting to. And then Trace Gallagher is going to take over the 10 o'clock with just news. They're at 10, so hence the name Fox News.
And of course, we have Fox News on our station,
Yep.
so that way we're kind of tied at the toe, I guess, of the Fox network. So it's pretty cool.
You did your company line. Good job.
Cash that check.
Yeah, the Fox.
Get absolutely nothing for that.
Yeah,
but,
pretty much.
But,
That's the way that works.
But we have the good news is you can hear Sean Hannity well before you get in home in the evening because he's right here at our station at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Yes, sir.
So that's all right. Lots of good talk radio. Well, here it is, guys. While we're talking about, of course, my wife's birthday, other birthdays include a 104-year-old man. He's a veteran. He says his longevity is due to Jim Beam and Jack Daniels.
Jim and Jack. I got you.
104-year-old.
Together.
Arthur Walters Jr. he's just celebrated his 104th birthday. Air Force veteran. He's ready to answer for anyone wanting to know the secret of his long life. I've always say I have 2 good friends, Jim Beam and Jack Daniels. His advice, of course, for younger generations more seriously, he says, if you really want something, you have to be willing to work for it. If you fail, you have to get back up and get back at it.
If you fail, talk to Jim and Jack.
Yeah, go talk to Jim and Jack, and then.
Yep.
But
What is it? The grandfather in the Christmas vacation. How'd you get through all this Christmas? I had a lot of help from Jack Daniels. That's right, my buddy.
a lot of help. But here's the part of this advice that I like is this: if you really want something, you have to be willing to. First of all, current generation, heads up. Current generation, heads up. You have to work for it.
What a novel idea.
And if you fail, oh, poor me. What do? You get back up, get back to it. I mean, great life advice there. Mm-hmm. Very foreign to a lot of ways in the everybody gets a trophy world right now.
Right. If you fail, then you go complain to the teacher. Right. You bring your mom.
Yeah,
and it's
get
like,
your
hey,
mom.
We're going to have a meeting about this.
If you fail, you get mama to come to your rescue. Yeah. What do you mean, my child?
My baby would never do that. They're a perfect little angel.
Have you ever known where a child has really done something wrong, and then you actually physically hear the parent when they're informed about it? My child would never do that.
How long's the show this morning?
I mean, you've experienced that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have too. I'm sure you have. It's like, yeah, it's like,
Not so much because I don't even have a conversation with the parent. You know, my
is that right?
position on that as the business owner is I hired the child.
Yeah.
You have nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
You know,
There you go.
You
I
are
like
a parent, but I'm sorry. But
I mean,
I employed the child. I don't employ you, and so we don't need to have a conversation. And you know, certainly there are times when I do engage a little bit, and I kind of explain.
wait.
Do
Do parents really come to your business to talk about their child?
They do, not frequently, but once in a while. You know.
Really?
Oh, yeah. If there's a disciplinary action or something like that they don't agree with, then, you know, and it's like, wait a minute, you know.
Oh, wait a minute.
I've made it clear.
Have we crossed into this little, I don't know, this twilight zone where now...
Well, are you surprised? They do it with teachers. Why would they not do it, you know, if your child's a high school student? And
I would never. I mean, never, no, not ever. Even in my teenage years, I would never have asked mommy or
Ooh, I
daddy.
don't know if it's asked or if they feel like they need to defend it. I think
Okay,
that
let me
the kids
rephrase
I've
that. Never ever would mommy or daddy ever
Yeah.
show up to defend me at a
I
place
think
of
the kids
business.
are probably mortified. They're like, stop. All right, he fired me. Right? Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, we got excited about that. I've got to go into Fox
Okay.
News here. Let's just join them in progress.
Yeah, there's more rain expected.
Oh man, coming back in hot here.
That's a good one.
Does that qualify?
That's a good one.
That's Luke Bryan.
That's Luke.
By the way, Luke Bryan celebrates his 47th birthday today. So happy birthday, Luke.
Nice guy.
Let's see. Black Sabbath's Geezer Butler.
Geezer.
Geezer.
Geezer?
He's 74 years old today.
He's a geezer.
There you go. And, of course, other birthdays include the actor Donald Sutherland.
Really?
Oh.
Was just watching Little Space Cowboys last night, and
That's a
he's
good one.
88 years old today. But really, just check out the Dirty Dozen again. He's just it's funny as all get out there. And let's see, David Hasselhoff.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
German rock star.
David
Yes.
Hasselhoff. And of course, he did do a cameo appearance in what was that, the movie Bay? Didn't they do a movie Baywatch?
Yeah, they did a movie, yeah.
Yeah, he did a little cameo, and here's a little sound bite from that cameo.
Come on, man. You don't just protect the Bay. You are the Bay.
You are the Bay.
Mitch, the Bay needs you.
Mitch, the Bay needs you. All right.
I think he did a cameo in SpongeBob. SpongeBob.
SpongeBob. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, if you were laughing so hard and you ran off the road and you dented your car, there's a place to go in this car. Friends down there at Premier Paint and Body Shop, they are going to open up here shortly, and they're going to be ready to receive your vehicle and get the estimates going and get your car back to new again.
That's right. Like new results, of course, you got a ding, a dent, and a scratch. Whatever that's going to be, Premier Paint and Body can fix you up. Over 30 years providing the best auto body work and quality paint jobs, and over 90 years amongst that hard-working, dedicated staff, led, of course, by Danny Shelton. No job is too small, so even if it's just a scratch, just a little, somebody keyed your car because they're mad at you, Roger, or something like that, then bring it on down. Or if it's a major dent, you hit a deer or something like that, they can fix it too.
Done that.
Yes, indeed.
And
They'll
then-
give you a free estimate. That's great. Bring it by. They'll say, yeah, this is how much it's going to be. And, of course, they'll work with your insurance company. All of their work has a lifetime warranty. Conveniently located right next to Johnson Dodge on Highway 39 North. Give them a call. This number's easy to remember. 601-482-PAINT. Paint. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. Premier Paint and Body.
He survived about a 1,200-plus mile trek around Mississippi on a bicycle. Let's say hi to our guest. Here's Ed Abdella.
Whoop, whoop.
How you doing, sir?
Man, I'm fine. Feel great.
Look at there. I just, how many nights in the hospital after you got back?
No, it was great. I suggest it to anybody that wants to see Mississippi. It was beautiful.
Well, that's what I want to get a report. We asked you to come back and give us that report. Of course, we're also going to be talking about your next big adventure. But on July 4th, you departed Merrehope, and you left for a trip around the state of Mississippi, which was, all right, we're getting a signal whenever they do this. And they're using the right digit at least.
Turn down.
Oh, turn down. We want to go down.
You're too
Is
loud.
this down now? Okay.
Good.
All right. Come on, Ed, talk to me.
No, I'm fine. I'm good.
Okay. All right. The thing is, you're tied to all these three guys,
Okay.
these other two guys here. So whatever you get, they're going to get. And so
I see.
anyway, technical stuff.
Yay.
Yay. All right. Moving right along, sir. God, tough guest. Man. Boy. Don't get the headphones right. Did you get your coffee or water?
Are you comfortable?
Are you comfortable?
Can we get you a
Can we
massage?
turn the fan towards
Ooh,
you?
hey, I'd like the fan. You never asked me that.
No, not you, the guest. No.
Warm
All
over
right.
here, like a sauna.
All right. Ed, bicycle, Mississippi. I want to report. What was it like riding around the state?
It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
I mean, if I've been here, this is my 30th year in Mississippi, and I've seen a lot of Mississippi because I coached and, we traveled, but nothing like the way I've seen it. It is unbelievable. The people are unbelievably magnificent. We had no problems on the road.
Now, you're not running for office, so, I mean,
No,
you're
I'm-
kind of really making this sound pretty,
It
gummy
was.
and gooshy here.
No, I'm serious. My favorite part, somebody's always like, hey, what was your favorite part of the race? And what was the worst part? my favorite part, well, all of it really was great, but my favorite part was the Delta at 1 o'clock in the morning. It was eerie because it was raining. And so you're in the swampy area of the Delta, way, way in the back. I mean, and of course, I only had 2.5 hours of sleep. We were up in South Haven. We left Meridian on the 4th of July at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and got up to South Haven in 27 hours. So our first day was 345 miles, and we went to sleep. I went to sleep for 2.5 hours, got up. My crew, I can't say enough about them. They were wonderful. They did everything for me. I didn't have to do anything. I get up, I went ahead and prepped myself. I didn't even really have to get dressed. They made sure that everything was laid out. I got dressed and got on the bike, and we started rolling. And it was raining. They said, "Look, it's raining out."
So when you left Meridian, you went west toward Vicksburg? Is that how it went?
No, the other way. We went up towards Columbus and went to Corinth, and then to
so we're kind of going a clockwise turn around the state there.
Yeah.
All right, Corinth, and then you're going to come around to
South Haven.
Haven.
That was our first stop, and so we get up early and get on the bike, and it was raining out, but in the middle of it did like about 3 hours. The rain stopped, and this most magnificent red blood moon starts to pop up. And I remember my crew telling me, because we had communication, he says, "Hey, look to your left." And I looked to the left, and it's unbelievable. It's just half of it because it was covered by clouds, and then all of a sudden it fully developed. And but that's when the hallucinations started.
Oh boy!
The green men appeared.
Oh man!
Now the interesting hallucination.
Yeah. So when you're on the bike for so long, and you start, and I've done this before. When you start getting sleep deprived, that was the whole reason for this ride, was to raise money for Merrehope and their roof, but also to train for what's coming next summer, and how I can handle the stress of being on the bike for so long. Now, this was just a short period. This is just 4 days. And everybody's like, "Oh, my God, you did it. You're going to do the race across America. It's going to be a breeze." No, it's not. That's 8 more days added to the 4 days that I just did, which everything that ached after 4 days is going to be really, really bad by the time I get into 6th, 7th, and 8th day. But, we were able to learn a lot. But, so the hallucinations are going to come. Sleep deprivation, you're going to see things that really aren't there. And mainly it's because of shadowing. And I swear, as I'm looking at you guys today, there was a little black woman in the middle of the Delta. I don't know exactly where we were, but she's getting her mail. It's like maybe 3 a.m. And I'm looking at her, and then she looks dead at me, and it's like she's playing chicken with me. Mm-hmm. And so I turn my bike to the left, and she starts shuffling to the left. I turn to the right, and she starts shuffling to the right. I mean, it rose the hair on my legs, and I have no hair on my legs. It rose the hair on my legs.
No hair?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how scary this thing
Get your
was.
hand off his leg there, Charlie.
I can't help myself. It's so smooth.
So the guys are telling me, "So what are you doing? Are you okay? Why are you all over the road?" I said, "Do you not see this woman playing chicken with me?" He goes, "What woman? Stop. Ride the bike. Get on the fog line. Stop messing around, or we're going to pull you off the bike." So now I'm pretending that she's not there, and just as she comes, poof, she's gone.
Wow!
And it was the shadow. And then I know everybody's read the children's book, the Wild Things, where the wild things live.
Oh, okay.
That big beast on the cover. He was all over the Delta. Son of a gun, he was everywhere.
Man. Look at that.
Yeah.
So Ed Abdella tripping out there in the Delta.
The wild things, though.
No wonder it's your favorite place there.
Wow.
That is fascinating. I've never thought about that phenomenon though. But was that the only? You had other moments where like that where you had kind of a shadowy and it just kind of like what's your brain saying? Hey, what's this?
Every morning about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, it would reappear, but nothing to where it was dangerous. And that was a good thing. So the next day we go from South Haven, we go through Vicksburg.
What did Elvis say when you saw him? Did he give you a good pat on the back?
His mail too.
I'm glad that son of a gun wasn't there. I'll tell you one of the things I kept telling, like there were places that I looked at that I swear I was there before. Like I told my ex-wife, I said, "You're not going to believe this, but I was at your grandfather's house. I literally was at your." And she says, "What are you talking about? He lives in Alabama." I said, "It doesn't matter. I swear, this house looked just like it." And then I thought I was at Harry Cummins' house. And I thought I saw him outside. I'm like, Harry, and I'm waving, and they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, that's Harry Cummins' house. I said, who's Harry Cummins? I said, he lives in Quitman. Dude, we're in Vicksburg.
Wow.
And it was like everything I've seen
Here's
before.
a side of cycling I've never heard.
Wow.
Fascinating. Okay.
Just weird stuff. But, I mean, it was okay. So we went to Vicksburg. We saw the beautiful courthouse, got a quick bite to eat because we had to do a quick little interview. And then
Probably heard David Hasselhoff saying,
Yeah.
the Delta needs you.
You are the cycle.
You are the
cycle.
That's right.
no,
That's
there was a
cool.
lot of things that got me through. The crew was great.
All right, so, and this all happened in how many days?
4 days,
4
3
days.
hours, 16 minutes.
Ooh, okay.
And it was 1,161 miles, not 1,200.
How did we do for money for Merrehope?
I think we're close to 10,000. I think somewhere around there, 7, something like that.
Well, we got a ways to go then.
yeah, and
still some more.
Yeah, and they're still collecting some monies.
And so, folks, you can still help Merrehope. There's no question about that. So just let them know that you want to be a part of that. So I think you first advertised at 1,167 miles.
Yeah, 61, something like that.
Yeah, so
we had a couple of snafus. We had a couple of detours that took me kind of out of the picture.
Yeah.
And then we had a couple of dirt roads that we weren't anticipating, so we had to put the bike on there. So I lost about 20, maybe 19 miles, and then but we picked up a couple of miles on the detours. They were extra, and they didn't tell me this. They said, "Hey, this is going to be a little shorter." I kept thinking, man, this is longer. And my Garmin kept saying, it's longer.
No, you're just hallucinating. It's
exactly. There it is. Yeah. In fact, the crew had already come back home. You just thought they were there.
Yeah.
Right.
I said, hey, we're out of here. No, obviously you do have to have something like that, a good crew and a good setup. So, Charles, what's your thought about somebody getting a bicycle going around 4 days like that?
Oh, it's a little bit insane. I mean, but I think it's something we can all admire. And I wouldn't say an endurance athlete, but certainly I've run a lot, so I can relate to that and relate to the psychology of you're in a lot of pain and you've got to fight through that, and so it's really a testament to your will more than I think athletic ability gets you so far. It's kind of like a marathon. You can only go so far. You either hit the wall or whatever that is, and then beyond that, it's just pure effort. And so I admire it, man. That's fantastic. I mean, it really is. So hats off to you. I'm not wearing a hat, but if I was, my hat would be off. So
well, since you were sharing the roadway with other people, did you have any close calls, or was everybody pretty courteous about moving over like they should for when they see cyclists coming down the road?
Yeah, so we had a crew of 2 vehicles and four guys, and they would switch off every 6 hours. So every 6 hours the crew would change, and they would be behind me the entire time. Flashers, we had signs on the car. Everybody knew what was going up ahead. They could see that there's a cyclist, caution cyclist ahead.
What's that about?
Flashers, the lights.
Oh, the lights,
not
not
women flashers.
where we were going. I was like, man, clear the road.
That will get the attention, the flashers.
Sure would,
That's
yeah.
right.
But everybody. I mean, I never. And there was a couple of not highways, but there was a couple of routes that were 55 miles. So we knew when we got on those. And there was one place it was in the morning, and I can't remember exactly where we were, but I just remember the traffic was a little heavier because it was work. People were going to work. And Clint said, look, this is getting kind of hairy, a lot of big trucks, be real cautious. Do you want to maybe us take you 3 miles up the road? And I said, no, let's just, it seems like everybody's pretty good. And they were. I never had a problem with anybody. Nobody gave me the finger. Nobody yelled at me. It was wonderful. And, throughout the entire trip, and not even, I get close calls here. I had a close call the other day. I'm riding.
Oh, my.
Riding yesterday or Saturday. I was riding to our place where we meet, and this guy's like really close. I'm like, come on, man, 3 feet, Pete, dude. I mean, I can touch your vehicle.
Yeah. And do that, folks. When you see cyclists, do move over for them, or if you can't move over, just slow down and then wait till you can, and give them some space. I mean, it's for their life. I mean, come on, be serious. Well, you think this was insane. We're getting ready to talk about a little bit what's really insane, and that is what you have in store for next year. And you could use a little help and a little support, could you not?
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back. We're visiting with Ed Abdella. He's a cyclist, and he's serious.
Hitching a ride. Hitching a ride.
Yes, that's the song we hope we never sing about Ed Abdella.
He's probably thought about it once or twice.
Hitching a ride. Vanity Fair, going way back to the oldies there. Hitching a ride. Well, we're glad you're out there, folks. We want you to be part of our show. And, of course, this show is brought to you by good sponsors like, well, who we have next on the list there, Charles?
Well, we've got Purvis Business Machines.
You know, Jerry and Betty Purvis, they have been doing this. They've been supplying quality business machines in our town for many, many years.
Yes, indeed. Since 1979. 44 years. And, of course, they've got lease return color copiers. You can save up to 85% on those. What can you save 85% on these days? Nothing. Except for lease return color copiers over there at Purvis Business Machines. Go see them. They've got a wonderful showroom at 4505 Highway 39 North. Of course, a great website, too, gopurvis.com. And the number, easy to remember, 601-693-COPY. And what I really like about Purvis Business Machines is their motto, service. Not excuses, since 1979. We don't want excuses. We just want service. That's what they say, and they live by it. Purvis Business Machines. If you need anything for document management, those are the folks to call.
Oh, you got that right. All right, welcome back, Mr. Ed Abdella. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
I appreciate you having me on.
And of course, we'll probably hear from you a time or two before the big day. But you think riding around Mississippi 1,100 plus miles is insane? I don't think it's nothing compared to 3,000 miles. Oceanside, is that the starting point?
Oceanside, California.
Oceanside, California to Annapolis, Maryland, and that is on your schedule for next year.
Right. Today's the day that we actually sign up for it. So,
it is.
Well, I got a code because we qualified back in 2023 with the 444. So.
You have a code. You qualify. What does that mean? You qualify with the 444.
Yeah. So the races that you do like this, these endurance races, the Race Across America has qualifiers that you have to do before you do this one. And so one of the closest qualifiers for me was the Natchez Trace 444. I did it in 2020, and I did it last October in 2022. I'm sorry. Because it is 2023. So, yeah, we did it last October, and we did it. 2020 was 32 hours, and then we did the entire trace in 27 hours this past time around. So you qualify for it. You have 44 hours to do the race.
All right. So now you're talking about now going forward. This is going to be 3,000 miles, and I'm looking at your data that you've supplied here for us. 12 days to do this. Right. And you have over 170,000 vertical feet that you'll be navigating as you come across the country. And those of us that know a little bit about geography, we realize you got a couple of mountain ranges you're going to be riding over there, Ed.
Yeah, so you got the three deserts that you have to go through. That's the one that really kind of crushes a lot of folks. This year, the Race Across America, it was very pleasant. Highs were in the 90s, but it was very, very,
very pleasant.
Well, this is the desert that's like 120, and like last year's field, it cut out most of them. But this particular year, it was very pleasant. So you have the three deserts. Then the biggest fright that I have for that one is the descents. There's one called the Glass Elevator that's California overlooking Arizona. It plummets 7,000 feet. And there's switchbacks. So we practiced that up in North Carolina this summer. I went up there for a few days, and I practiced on the switchbacks because I'm not used to them. Yeah. But then you go through the Sierra Nevada, the Colorado Rockies, and the worst one is going to be the Appalachian Mountains in West Virginia. That's the ones that, you're 500 miles.
Do they even have a flat road in West Virginia?
I don't think so, because they say that they say that this one is it's persistent. It never stops. At least with the Colorado Rockies, the Wolf Creek Pass is almost 11,000 feet up, vertical feet up. But once you're there, you plummet another 6,000 feet. Then you go back up, and then you go back down. So it's like rollers. Mm-hmm. But to put it in perspective, I thought I was doing well here because I climbed 29,000 vertical feet in the 1,100 miles that we did here.
Okay.
And I thought, hey, that's not bad. But then I put it all, because I'm not a mathematician, I'm a history teacher. So I actually I sat down with pencil and paper, and I realized, oh my God, this doesn't come anywhere close. I'm in trouble. This is a lot of climbing. So
so now what's on your plan, your agenda for preparing for this race now? Now that you've this was kind of an initiation, this ride around Mississippi, but now what will you be doing training wise between now and next year?
Well, so I'll continue to do 220, 250 miles a week. I have the Natchez Trace 444 coming up in October. I'll do that. And then for raising money for West Lauderdale Band, December, before we break, I'll do another 24-hour challenge. But just the constant riding, meetings with my crew. I can't say enough about, the crew. These four guys that came with me. Clint Blackwell was the crew chief. He's the one that set everything up on the map. Then I had, golly, I just talked to him today. Kevin Brooker from Vermont. He's one of my closest friends. I've known him for 40 some odd years. We raced together.
Did I meet him the other day when
You
you
sure
were
did.
in downtown there?
Yep, that was him. And he's going to be actually the crew chief for the Race Across America.
Yeah, great fellow.
And then Chris Perry, one of my good buddies we taught together. He's been on every crew. So has Clint. He's been on every crew since I've been doing this.
Yeah.
And he brings up all the Navy hymns and all that. And then, of course, we got a new kid, Nick Barragon, who is
Nick.
Nick was a good guy because he's Choctaw. And we're in the middle of I was kind of hurting a little bit, and we were in some area that was close to one of the reservations, and he says, let me just tell you, he doesn't say much. Mm-hmm. Every time I stopped, he had a chocolate milk for me. That was it. And he would always grab my bike so I wouldn't fall over.
Yeah.
But always with the chocolate milk. But he didn't say much until like the maybe third day. He realized now it's time for me to get Ed. And he'd say, you can do this. Keep pedaling. Keep pedaling. My ancestors are reaching up from the ground, and they're going to pull. And, so he was really getting into it. And, towards the end, I was just like, this guy's got to be on RAM with us. And he's going to be. A little
concerned about somebody whose ancestors are in the ground.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, this is great that, of course, you're assembling this crew. You're going to be working on this. You'll be riding regularly, different places.
Sure.
Will you go back to the Smokies and do any mountain training or?
I have a friend down in he's a RAM official. He lives here in Mississippi, but he has a home in New Mexico, and he's invited me and a couple of guys to go down there and do some altitude training.
In New Mexico?
In New Mexico.
Oh, very good. Okay. So that's, and of course, when we say RAM, that's Ride Across America,
yeah,
which you're going to be doing.
America.
Race Across America. And you're going to be doing that on the beginning on the, what day of June next year?
It's June, I think mine's June 13th.
13th. Okay.
It's always on the second weekend in June, which is Father's Day weekend.
Yeah.
Or somewhere around there. But
now, has anybody else from Mississippi completed that race that we know of?
Nobody's ever even tried it.
From Mississippi?
No, Alabama, Mississippi. I think the closest one was Georgia.
We need to get behind Ed on this one here. This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
We can make history here with Ed. Now, you do need some help. You want some support. What can our listeners do to help you?
Well, we're raising money for Hope Village. This is going to be a ride for hope or a race for hope. And I talked with Miss Ward, Sheila Ward, a couple days before we took off for the Bike Around Mississippi.
You do realize when next time you're on, you're going to have to bring her with you.
Absolutely. She's 100% behind this, but we want to bring awareness to, sex trafficking. I know that's an ugly thing to talk about, but
it's real.
They're putting together, they have a place and they need money, they need funds to refurbish it for these children. And one of the things that I don't think anybody really understands, this isn't just for Meridian, Meridian is so giving, but this isn't just raising money from Meridianites and Meridian businesses. These children that go to Hope Village, they're from all over the state. And so we want people from outside, and we're trying desperately to reach out to those folks. And we have a couple of people that said, hey, look, I'm on this particular board. I want you to come and speak and tell us what you're doing. And, the very fact that this is the first time that anybody from Mississippi's ever attempted this, it's pretty cool. There's only 359 people that have ever done this, that have ever soloed it since 1982. So if if I complete it, and the fact that I'll age up to 60, I'll be 59, and when I start in June, but because my birthday is September, as long as if
you get put in another age bracket,
I get it's hard to explain, but
That's
I
all right.
get put up to the 60-year-olds, which is even more daunting, and not a lot of 60-year-olds are doing something like this, so it'd be really cool.
All right. Well, it's the it's the race across America. It is a 12-day maximum trip, 3,000 miles up and down hills, a total of 170,000 vertical feet. Whew. Well, I think you can do it.
I hope so.
I know.
I got a good crew with me.
Yeah.
We got 8 folks so far on board, and I think another one's wanting to come. And
I think you're probably gonna be successful. You'll be the first one from Mississippi and Alabama. You'll probably make the View. You'll be able to be on the View.
Wow.
hip hip hooray for me.
No.
Yeah.
But you'll definitely have to be back on the best 2 hours of local live talk radio
Absolutely.
here at WALT. Ed, we wish you the best. Folks, get behind him, and you can support him by, I'm looking for a website here. So just tell us how they can get in touch with
There's
you.
going to be the posters will be all over again, and there's a QR code, and you can go to Hope Village, their website. I don't know exactly what their website is, but they have it. Casey Culpepper's been great.
Google will
this.
tell you.
That's right.
Google will tell you.
Google don't lie.
All right. Well, we certainly are expecting you to complete it and not hitch a ride home. So, listen, you feel so good when you get it. You may just ride your bicycle home from Annapolis,
I hope so.
All right. We want you back as we get closer. Bring Sela by. We'll talk with all of you, and we'll continue focusing on the Ride for Hope.
Thank you so much.
Hello there. Rob Atkinson,
Hello, sir.
and Charles Frazier.
You forgot my name.
I did not.
And I'm showing you my name tag. Oh, that guy.
Charles
Charles move a little bit.
kind of
Frazier,
remind me when
right.
my dad was trying to call us when because he had like 6 kids, So it's like say Dave, James, Richard,
And we call the dogs, and then we're like, no,
Morning
we don't
roll
want the
call.
Dogs, we want the kids.
The morning roll call.
Finally get down. Roger. Okay, that's what I'm trying to get.
Yeah.
Well, glad you're out there, folks. As we start this second hour, we went a little long in the last segment, but always good when we have Ed in the studio talking about the race across America. Boy, we got to get behind him. He's got to be the first guy from Mississippi, Alabama, these 2 states to be in the race and be successful.
He's going to have some serious hallucinations.
Well, I think that's pretty cool. These little things you talked about, these little aberrations.
Yeah.
Say Elvis said something to me. Might make a movie. Call it like I don't know. We'll call it Forrest Abdella or something like that.
Strange trip it's been. I don't know.
Pedal, Ed,
Something
pedal.
different.
Pedal, Ed. That's right.
I know. My maturity
Can't spell
level
pedal
is
without
way
Ed,
down
can you?
here.
Nah, a little bit.
Anyway, all right.
Well, we're glad you're out there, folks, and of course, we're moving into our next segment. We'll be speaking with one of our local candidates in just a moment. But first, we want to give a big shout out to Billy Adam Calvert and the folks down there at Southern Business Supply. They are ready to get you whatever you need to make sure your business runs smoothly.
That's right, and they have been ready to do that for 38 years. They've been in business a long time.
Sure.
Conveniently located right near us, actually, 5685 Dale Drive, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. It's easy. Just give them a call, 601-485-2447. Of course, if you're renovating an office, you need new office furniture, anything like that, not only do they have a full line of office furniture and home office furniture as well, but they also have an in-house interior designer. So, Roger, I know you don't have a whole lot of design skills as far as interior design goes.
You
don't have any, is pretty much the case. They have one
put
there
my
that will
chair-
help you.
I'm an excellent designer. Put my chair in front of the TV.
Great. Yeah, that's it. Right. And bring me a beer. Okay. Well, it's Debbie's birthday, so be nice to her.
Oh, thank you for reminding me. Happy birthday.
Yes, exactly. Get her something nice at Southern Business Supply. Friendly staff, they're servicing Meridian and all surrounding areas. Of course, they carry office supplies, janitorial supplies, spring water coolers, break room supplies, everything you need for your business. They've got it there at Southern Business Supply, 5685 Dale Drive, 601-485-2447.
All right. And yes, a big happy birthday to my bride. I'm so glad that she's having another one. I'm glad for that.
Okay.
I hope she has very many more.
Right.
I really
there you
do.
go. Okay.
All right.
Well, we got a guest coming into the studio right now. Of course, it's going to be a blitz of candidates over the next 2 or 3 weeks.
A blitz?
Yeah, we got
Candidate blitz.
As literally we were in our last interview, I was getting texts and emails. The calendar's filled up a little bit more, and I'll tell you about that a little bit later on. But we're going to start things off with Chick Johnson running for District Court Judge, District 1. How are you this morning, sir?
I'm well. Good morning. And allow me to preface by saying thank you for the invitation.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry it took so long to get here. It was inevitable.
It was inevitable.
Like the bicyclist, I was on my way. Took me a little longer, but here I am.
Glad you're here.
I appreciate it once again, the invite. As Rob mentioned, I am Gary G. Lamar Chic Johnson. I am a candidate.
Wait a minute. Gary G. Lamar. Chick Johnson.
As a
I want to get the whole name now.
There's a backstory. I'll give you that. All right. I'll give you that. The reason it's like that. But I am a candidate for the office of District Justice Judge, District 1, Justice Court Judge, District 1, Lauderdale County, Meridian, Mississippi. And I'm just asking for your vote on August 8th. And short, sweet, and to the point. Now, if you would allow me to digress, Gary Chick G. Lamar Johnson. Well, a lot of you are familiar. You've seen my face and or you've heard my voice. And I've been called by a litany of names.
Oh, really?
These particular, the most familiar. My given name, Gary. Then I was later called Chick. And I've had a stint in radio broadcasting for a number of years. And those who are familiar with hearing my voice over the airways, they are familiar with G. Lamar Johnson. So I didn't want to leave any stone unturned. So I decided I had better put them all. Donna Jill and I, we went through a little discussion about, the length of this name.
The longest name on the ballot.
The longest name, perhaps. I don't know. I've seen some.
Maybe.
I've seen some other ones, but yeah, but it is on the ballot as Gary, and then you will have G. Lamar Chic Johnson. G. Lamar Chic in quotes, then Johnson at the end. So
Gotcha.
if you see Chic, Gary, or G. Lamar, that's me.
That's you.
I'm your
that's-
guy. I'm your guy. And
I just think it's kind of interesting if somebody say, well, you're going to see the judge. Yeah, I'm going to pour Judge Chick.
I kind of like Judge G. Lamar. But,
well,
it's my preference.
I heard Rob say earlier, my wife and I, we were listening, and as you all were billboarding the fact that I would be here, and Rob said, "Well, I just can't say G. Lamar. It's Chick." So
It's Chick. That's how I've always known you.
So,
yeah.
So it's fine. You can call me Chick. I don't care. Just vote for me. And I failed to mention I am your Democratic candidate for the Office of Justice Court Judge.
And since you do have a challenger, you are in the August 8th Democrat primary for this race.
That is correct.
All right, so there you have it. So we're not waiting around for November to put to vote for this person. Now I have to ask you, why did Gary G. Lamar Chick Johnson decide he wanted to be in the political arena and run for this office?
I think when I first mentioned it to my wife, she thought I was delusional. She thought
I get that a lot too.
Don't we all? She thought it was about time for me to check in, to be checked out.
That's why I stopped telling my wife things. Just stop it.
But guys, believe
Just
it.
do it.
Yeah, but being a man of faith, and I make no bones about it, I am proud to say I don't just throw it out there and just run over it. I make no apologies for asserting the fact that I am a born-again believer in the Lord Jesus Christ, and I believe that he does direct. And to say that he personally told me to run for Justice Court Judge, no, I wouldn't say that, but he didn't tell me that I couldn't. I just felt as I've always had this desire in my heart to be involved and to fend for those who are less fortunate, who don't possess the ability to fend for themselves. And I've always desired to aspire to be the person that would render a fair decision. And I think what has helped me tremendously as I have spent for the past 53 years officiating sports, umpiring baseball and refereeing basketball. And in those avocations, I am charged with the duties of adjudicating the rules. And I believe that adjudicating the rules of law are very similar to this. You are there to be as impartial as you can, and to just be fair and just assure that all parties, that their best interests are protected. And so that's my desire to let the people know that the court belongs to the people, and it don't belong to the judges and no one else. And when you come before the judge, whether you are accusing or being accused, you should be made to feel that you will get a fair shake.
All right, and so you point to your resume, which is just not the fact, but the fact that you are a fair-minded person, being a Christian yourself, but also the fact that you have been involved in athletics for many, many years, basically being the judge on a on a ball field on a regular basis. So any other qualifications, education that you want to highlight that might make you suited for this job?
When you are a leader or a manager, and I'm in retail, I've been a retail manager for the past 25 years here locally. I've traveled extensively with my company, opening up stores, reopening stores, being in charge of grand openings, which are very, very, very high profile. Yeah. And it takes some management skills. It takes some levels of you using fairness, because tempers can flare, and because the grand openings are just grueling. You're just going, mm-hmm. And you have people coming to you with different concerns, and you have to be fair concerning how you render decisions concerning their matters before you. And so educationally, I'm not an attorney, and thank goodness that the state of Mississippi does not require that you have to be an attorney in order to seek this office. You just have to be a person who recognize that we are blessed and to have the form of government that we have, and that even a lowly little individual like myself can aspire to be a part of the judicial system and to give back what I believe has been given to me, which is an opportunity to help. And that's what I want to do. I want to make sure that a person, as aforementioned, when you come before a judge, there should not be any trepidation. There should not be any fear. There should be a sense of assuredness that you are going to, get a fair shake. And if you are guilty, innocent, then the chips fall where they may. But to answer the question, I'm not a trained attorney. I've never been in law enforcement. I've worked in and around law enforcement as a security officer, and I've, I have many of friends with whom I've conversed concerning this matter, and I just think to be an open-minded, fair person, as I mentioned, officiating sports. I mean, you're talking about being a judge. You are truly a judge, because there are situations where you have to, where the rules are not concise, you have to render a decision, and I think that in law, sometimes in the courtroom where there is some gray areas, I think that a level-headed individual have to understand that they have to go back to case histories and precedents that have been established and render a fair decision. And that's what we do in adjudicating the rules of athletics, where it's not really just, we have situations that we've never seen before. And so, and this is what I bring to the table. I have the ability to listen and to render fairness.
Do have a Facebook question over here. Someone just submitted. Chick says, "Are you more of a letter of the law or spirit of law person?" Interesting question there.
Sometimes that there is not an allowance for deviation, but I believe that as my maternal grandmother reared me, every tub sits on its own bottom. What I mean by that, if the letter of the law is concise, if it is specific, there is no allowance for deviation, then so be it. And this is what I mean by you being able to take situations where the letter of the law is not clear, right, and you can use your better judgment. So I think it depends on the matter at hand. But just for me to just arbitrarily say that I'm either or, I think I would be remiss at minimal to make that assertion that I'm one way or the other.
Right. Okay.
All right. And, of course, what are some of the cases? What are the type of cases that your particular function, what will you be hearing, and should you be the district court judge?
Well, and it is quite interesting that you asked me that. And I'll be honest with you, this has been a learning experience for me because I was not privy to some of the well, I shouldn't say privy. I did not know some of the things that I learned about the operating of the Justice Court judges. And I did not know that Justice Court judges would hear capital murder cases. I mean, as much as you would be arraigned before a municipal or Justice Court judge. Okay, but some of the cases you hear, of course, you will hear your DUI cases, and you hear cases of persons being evicted from properties. You establish bail or deny bail. Didn't know that. And so this has been a learning experience for me. And contrary to what people believe, that lawyers know everything, but see, lawyers practice law. And this, I say that to say this because a lot of people, when I told them I was running for the office of Justice Court judge, they said, "Well, I didn't know you were an attorney." I said, "I'm not an attorney," And it's been proven in some cases that might not necessarily be the better person for a job because you are a lawyer. But you hear a litany of different cases, as aforementioned, with your arraignments on for you hear felony and misdemeanor cases, of course.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, it's quite extensive.
That $300 that Charles has taken from me, and I want to get it back. I mean, that bad check. I mean,
That was a gift.
That was a gift.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
I did.
It was a gift.
So, do you
I
get
witnessed
cases
it.
like that as well? I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
so these civil cases like that.
You will get cases like that,
Yeah.
and of course, in cases like that,
Here's a copy of the check that I wrote, Mr. Frazier,
Yeah.
and you know.
But now it have to. Now you will be within the specs, because now if it exceeds $3,500, you would have to move to the next level.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So
all right, very good. Now I have to ask you this, Chick.
do you have to?
Yeah, I have to.
I mean, it's absolutely
compelled.
imperative.
Okay. They pay me to do this radio thing, and so I got to ask you. No, any judge, anybody who comes in office like that, they are going to be probably approached by close acquaintances, should they ever have to appear before court, to ask for a special favor. And so I'm just wondering, have you thought about that, and what your reply will be to family, friends, close associates who say, hey, I need your help?
You're familiar with the terms grassroots?
Yes.
I mean, the grass cannot grow higher than the structure of my campaign. You're looking at moi and moi wife.
Yeah.
That is my campaign committee. My desire have been, and if you will allow me just to vent for one moment, when I initially entered this race as a candidate for the office of Justice Court Judge, and I had some conversations with some individuals, and we talked about the political affiliation of judges. I'll be honest with you, I am opposed to it. I qualified as a Democrat candidate. I'll be honest with you. I think for a judge to have to qualify as a Democrat or Republican, I think that we all should be independent.
Many judgeships don't have that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're right.
And I understand that there were some movement in the Mississippi State Legislature to get the Justice Court judges out from under that. And so I just I have not solicited campaign funding in any magnitude, because I just don't. I feel now. I'm not saying that individuals will, say, well, hey, you remember, but we in a utopia.
Well, you may have people that, even though they don't contribute to your campaign, they may show up and say, hey, come on, Chick, it's me.
Right.
It's me, Roger.
I had you on the radio. I had you on the radio, man.
And you know what? I'll say this: if you do know a person personally and up close, it does give it that personal touch. You can speak to that character if there's a situation. That's what I meant a little while ago when I say if there was an allowance for deviation for you to consider, but not if the facts and the evidence are such that you cannot, as the old saying goes, it is what it is.
So there you go. I like that. Let's see. Gary G. Lamar Chic Johnson for judge. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
There's the campaign speech. That's
what it is. Sums it up. Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, I tell you what, it's exciting, and we always appreciate people who put themselves out there, who go to the effort to say, "Hey, I'm willing to put myself up as a public servant for you folks," and you're out there campaigning. So, anything you want our listeners to hear before our segment closes here shortly?
Well, I'll just like to reiterate: if you vote Democrat, vote Gary G. Lamar Chic Johnson for judge, and what you hear is what you get. You get an honest individual. I'm not perfect. I'm sure mistakes will be made, and I'm sure there will be rulings that I do not that you would not necessarily agree with. I was in a judge's office, court once, and this judge, I consider us to be friends, and the ruling went against me. But they handled themselves in such a manner I was so pleased. And I had another experience where I was in court, and the police officer came out and he made this statement. He said, "Look, the judge is in a bad mood today. Don't go. Be on your best behavior. He have already sentenced someone to time in jail that wasn't even supposed to be here. They were here with someone else, and he sentenced them to jail." And myself and a friend, we looked at each other like, "Whoopee! The judge is in a bad mood. Who cares?" I mean, when I go in as a manager my people, they look for me. I don't care if my wife and I, if we thrown pots and pans and I've missed and she she hit me. I got to go in there and be fair. Once I hit those basketball courts or baseball diamonds, I have to be fair.
There you go.
So that's what you get, fairness.
All right.
So August 8th, pull that lever, Democrat. Lamar Gary, Chick Johnson, Justice Court Judge, District 1. And thank you again for the invitation, guys.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here, sir. And we'll be back with more of Mornings in Meridian after this. Wait a minute now. Oh,
That's a real good one.
Rob says, that's a real good one. Luke Bryan, happy birthday. 47 years old there to the Luke man.
That boy's talking about drinking alcohol.
Hey, Ed, bless his heart. I tell you what, be careful of that 1, 2, 3, 4 stuff. So glad you're out there, folks, tuned in. Roger, Rob, Charles in the house with us today. So glad to have you here, sir.
Well, I'm glad to be here. Thank you very much.
All right, we've got a caller holding on the line, but before we get there, we're going to talk about the folks who were down at Trucker Supply. You know, I have always challenged you. Go to Trucker Supply and tell me you can't find anything you want or need. It's all right there at Trucker Supply.
It can't be done. No one can walk in there without getting something they want or need. And it's not just for truckers. I have a car.
Yeah.
And I like going down there.
Yeah.
So,
That's right. I have a truck.
I have a
and
motorcycle, and I like going down there. But it's a one-stop shop for all your tools. Kinetics tools, channel locks on steroids.
Boy,
Pump
10
you up.
times the gripping effect of the
How do
regular
they
old.
measure that?
Well, it's
Those
that
Germans.
German technology.
Who knows how they do that stuff, but we know it's true. Full room of Milwaukee tools made right here in the state of Mississippi. You ought to call them Mississippi tools, I think. But, well, that's right. They call them Milwaukee tools. But they have everything that they make is there. And, of course, Yeti, if you like Yeti, they've got everything Yeti that you would ever need.
Everything
And,
Yeti.
You know, with it being 120 degrees outside, you might need a cooler. And there's not a better one on the market right now. Go see them. Yeti mugs, coolers, lunch boxes, even Yeti dog dishes. You know it. And even if you need a little part for your Yeti cooler or your mug or anything like that, new lid, they've got it as well. It is Tool Central over there, Trucker Supply, 519 Highway 19 South. A one-stop shop for all your tools, 601-693-2316.
All right, it's Mornings in Meridian. We got a caller on the line. Good morning. Welcome to our show.
Who was that you had on there a while ago?
Oh, that was a candidate for District Court Judge. I said District 1, is that right?
Yeah, District 1. Yeah, Democrat Gary G. Lamar Chic Johnson.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't been
Well,
to.
Well,
Yeah.
now you have.
Do I?
That's why you listen to this.
Right.
That's why you
You're
listen to this
introducing
station.
Well, yeah, I reckon so.
Yeah.
I reckon I might as well run, and I will.
Hey,
I'll
I'll
run
vote for you.
Mayor of Lauderdale.
Mayor of Lauderdale.
Well,
Corner.
you're going to give up. You're not going to give up the office of loafer, are you?
No, I'm going to loaf all the way through the office of mayor.
Okay.
That's what they generally do. Ain't
What's
it?
the difference exactly? Yeah.
That's
You get
it.
a paycheck for one. That's, I guess, the
Going to loaf to the office of mayor. Have mercy.
Yeah, you know, I say this every time, but anybody that don't right now know who they're going to vote for, I don't believe them. You know, they should know now by all the candidates who they're going to vote for.
Yeah. Yep.
I know I do, and I know exactly who I'm going to vote for.
What you're saying is nobody could come up to you and give an argument that would ever change your mind about who you're already going to vote for.
No, because I told them I would.
Yeah.
And Nick Lacey had been to my place and sat with me for hours. He is an amazing young'un, and I love him. He's good, and I'm going to vote for him. Although JB's daughter, I'm sure she's amazing too, and she's been in it a long, long time. And JB asked me to vote for her, but I had already said I was going to vote for Nick, you know.
Yeah.
And I ain't going to change. I've loved JB forever. He was the prettiest little round-faced boy in Charlotte school.
Yeah.
And I'm going to vote for Ricky Roberts. I told him that.
Yeah.
And, of course, Wayman Newell. Wayman is, oh, boy, has he ever done stuff for the downtown part of Lauderdale and everywhere else. And I'm going to vote for him. And I don't mind who knows that, you know, but I know now who I'm going to vote for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know it. You've got it locked in.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, why not?
Yep. Well, there might be somebody out there that ain't quite like you, and they're trying to make up their mind, learn about the candidates and all the rest. So I don't know that I wouldn't believe somebody if they said they didn't know who they were going to vote for. But there's a lot of people I think in your shoes that kind of have their minds made up. Yes.
You know, when somebody tells me they just don't know who they're going to vote for, tells me they're not going to vote.
Oh, okay.
And if that bothers somebody, come on up to Loafers and we'll talk about it.
Sit down in Loafers
Challenge,
Corner and talk
yeah.
about it. I like that.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to listen last Friday, but I've been having doctor's appointments, and I got to stop that.
Well, I don't know if they're keeping you going. That you might ought to stay, keep those appointments with them.
You know, I never thought that I was going to be 80 years old. Never crossed my mind.
Wow, how about that?
And here I am, 80 years old. Can't do what I want to do.
Well,
And, you know, I'm aggravated because I'm old, and I don't want to like that.
well,
And
yeah.
I don't like it. Especially being 80 years old and sober. God almighty, that's bad.
Well, 80 years old and sober.
No Jim and Jack for him.
Well, I'll refer to the 104-year-old veteran who said that Jim and Jack were his advice for getting older. Anyway.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Well, I just wondered who that was talking a while ago. I don't think he ever answered your question. Well, I know he didn't. But anyway,
Well,
I'm going to work.
All right, sir.
Behave yourself.
Well, thanks for checking in with us there, and we're looking forward to you turning 81.
Come see me.
All right, we'll do it. 601-485-9191 is our talk line. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Mornings in Meridian.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are y'all doing today?
Hello, sir.
Zen?
Well, you were talking to Trucker Supply about the Knippix being, 10 times stronger?
That's what Roger said. I'm going to take his word for it.
Well,
The
I would
Knippix,
suggest
yeah.
that one of you go down there and stick out both your index fingers and put a competitive brand clamp on one finger and the Knippix on the other and see if you yell 10 times louder.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it probably would pass out first.
Well, I'm sure there's a way to measure it anyway.
Well, do you pass out 10 times faster?
That's probably the case. That might
there
be
you
it.
go.
Okay.
But Roger, are you still out making sales calls, or you've turned it over to somebody else now?
No, I'm still out making sales calls. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Won't you call on Dollar General, because they ought to be within the next year or so. They ought to be having a scratch and dent sale from that truck wreck yesterday.
I didn't know they had a truck wreck yesterday.
Well, they had a brilliant, extremely well-trained driver to go to the crossroads there at State Boulevard Extension and Pine Springs Road there, or whatever it is, Chandler Road, and laid it over in the ditch. It was kind of interesting there. So I'm sure, it takes Dollar General about a year to get stuff on the shelf. They'll have a scratch and dent sale, and you can sell them some advertising.
I didn't think
for
they
it.
ever put anything on the shelf, that it was always just
It's always in the aisle, yeah.
you know? So.
Yeah, well, I mean, it
know what you
eventually
meant,
makes it to
though.
the shelf.
I'm just playing.
But anyway, yeah, and then what am I seeing about the Artusa Lake?
Did you see the drone
Dam
footage?
broke?
Yeah, the dam
Can't
burst.
say that on there. Well, and there was drone footage of that, and of course the police department just got a new drone. So, is there some kind of correlation there?
Well, I mean, the thing about it is we've had so much rainfall lately. Usually when you get that much, the Chickasahee River already down in that area already floods a pretty good bit like any river would. But yeah, they had the dam to crack and burst. I think it was late last night and early this morning. So
That darn dam.
yeah, I think they've closed down Artusa Creek Water Park too in that area. I know a lot of folks kind of use that for the cabins and whatnot out there for vacation and whatnot. So I think they're having to, kind of shut some of that part of the park down as they deal with some of the flooding in that area. So
Yeah. Well, if you don't have a lake, I guess you don't have a lake.
that's right.
Yeah. So there's too much water in Clark County and not enough in Meehan. Is that the deal?
That's right.
Okay. Just so we're clear on that.
Come on, Southwest Lauderdale water.
Well,
Come on.
It could be that's where the Meehan water comes from.
Wait a minute.
Ours comes from Southwest Lauderdale Water Association.
Okay. Well, we got the Nellyburg, Tanglewood, Sucalina's got the well right up from my house. So, and I'm backed up against. I know when the power goes out because generator cuts on over there. So, but I don't know if we've ever lost water. up in Cicalina. So we, I'm right next door to the mayor, so they make sure they can.
There you go. That always
VIP
helps.
neighborhood, right? I got you.
I just wish the MEPA would do the same. They don't recognize him as being a powerful person. So
Well, they're wrong for that.
yeah, they are. But anyway, I was just going to suggest that somebody stick their finger out there and just let that little pair of pliers bite it and see if it's 10 times stronger.
It's tempting. Yeah.
I try to keep my fingers out of tools, vices, away from saws. I generally avoid those things.
That's smart, man.
It's just something I've kind of adopted over the years.
Yeah, but there's a sucker born every minute. I figured I might be able to talk somebody into it.
Well, good try. Yeah.
Well, there you have it. Well, sir, we appreciate you being out there, and thank you for the phone call. Anything else?
That's about it. You guys have a wonderful day and take care.
All right, thank you. Appreciate the call. 601-485-9191. And by the way, Rob, we have something for a lucky winner, do we not?
That's right, of course. We've had folks registering over at WALTmeridian.com for our Star, Stripes, and Sizzle sweepstakes.
Boy, that's been going on for several weeks, hasn't it?
Absolutely. And we've got a 22-inch Blackstone griddle here in studio. And I think we ought to grab this real quick and take a look at it. We got it on the camera.
Can you put it on the camera?
Fire it up,
That'd be great.
Start
Absolutely.
cooking in here.
Yeah, let's show the people what we're giving away.
Whoa!
Look at that.
Well, get on camera. You need the wide
Yeah,
screen.
there it is. Need the widescreen on here. But yeah, this is the 22-inch Blackstone griddle, courtesy of WALT, that we are about to give away to a lucky listener. Of course, we got a good amount of entries over at WALTmeridian.com, and we are happy to announce
All right,
that the winner of this 22-inch Blackstone griddle is Kyle Wilbanks.
All right. Hey, thanks for listening, Kyle, and we congratulate you on your new acquisition, the Blackstone 22-inch griddle, or is it the Plancha de 22?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Whatever.
And apparently Kyle is cooking this weekend, so we'll all be over at Kyle's house.
Yeah, so
Saturday
congratulations.
night. Right on.
Kyle Wilbanks, our winner.
All right. Well, Kyle, yes, that's all right. You definitely can come and pick up. I guess he would come and pick that up, Rob, at the station.
Yep, we'll be reaching out to Kyle, and we'll get all that squared away.
All right, and of course, just remember, Kyle, that invite us over to enjoy the griddle, and it's for 1, 2, 3, 4 margaritas or whatever however many.
That would be a good one.
Yeah.
Morning Zipper Meridian. We're going to take a break. Come back. Stay tuned for more.
call her anytime. Then she whispered in my ear. She said, my body wants you so.
Jeez.
And now we're going to we're going to bring the lights down in the room now. Mornings in Meridian.
3 of us? I don't think it's a good idea.
Mommy, help
Keep the
me.
lights up.
Little Brian McKnight there throwing, he's a good man, a good
Oh,
voice.
gosh.
We're glad you're out there, tuned in. Roger here along with Rob. Also, we have Charles. It's Mornings in Meridian. And this show is brought to you in part by some mighty fine folks, like our good folks there at Jeffrey Wilson State Farm Insurance.
Like a good neighbor.
He is a good neighbor, isn't he?
He is a great neighbor, and that's the thing about, an insurance agent. You want somebody you know, so that when you've got that claim, you just call him. You're not calling some 1-800 number and talking to somebody in Bangladesh, hoping you get
Bangladesh.
Hello, do you
understand?
Right. Well, that's what it's like. No, call Jeffrey Wilson. And because that's the thing, is that he's so involved in the community, everybody knows him, and then you just say, hey, Jeffrey, had a car accident. And he's like, cool, I got you covered. Or, a tree fell on my house, or whatever it's going to be. And that is the key part of insurance. And, what's great about Jeffrey is you can meet with him once a week, kind of reevaluate, or once a year, reevaluate your insurance needs, and he will kind of direct you in the way that you need to go. Everybody needs insurance. We don't want it. We don't want to pay for it. But when you need it, you need it. And you're thankful you had it. But here's the deal. When you combine State Farm, home, and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. So if you got 2 different companies doing auto and home, combine them and save money. Jeffrey Wilson is ready to help you combine home and auto and save right here in Meridian. Give him a call, 601-483-8253. Like a good neighbor, State Farm and Jeffrey Wilson is there.
All right.
Bangladesh.
Well, I won't go that far around the world, but here's a story from France. A woman was hit by a meteorite.
Oh.
Yeah, It can happen.
Yeesh.
It can happen.
Only in France, though, apparently.
Well, she was having coffee with a friend, and the odds of being hit by the meteorite while this is happening, very slim, but just ask the woman in France who was having that coffee. And she shared her story with the French newspaper saying, I heard a big boom.
A boom?
Big boom? We have
That's
boom.
French for boom.
That's right. Boom. It was a big boom coming from the roof next to us in the second, and then a second that followed, I felt a shock in the ribs. I thought it was an animal, a bat or something. We thought it was a piece of cement. The one we... she's even being descriptive. I thought it was a piece of cement, the one we applied to the ridge tiles. But
that stuff that we put up there.
It was a rock, and they gave it to geologists, and it was indeed a meteorite. So every once in a while, you see them. People find them on the ground, and
did they fire the coffee after that? With coffee's on the house. You got to buy a meteorite. Was it in a cafe or in her house? I guess is the question.
Well, I'd take it as being kind of a cafe.
Yeah, I would think. If someone gets hit by a meteorite at Wyman's, I'm buying their meal. I'm pretty much guaranteed. Just for them, not the whole table.
Well, wait a minute now. That's kind of a pretty big event. I mean, a meteorite.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Hey, that glass of wine, I'll give you a free refill on that iced tea. You got hit by a meteorite.
Yeah. It's just one of those strange things, folks. But
in France?
Yeah.
Oh, what is this? A meteorite?
Meteorites. So I guess just be careful out there, right?
Yeah. Well, that's I guess.
Why are the French always getting beat on? I mean, even the meteorites hitting them.
Right,
I mean, what is with that?
Give up, we surrender.
Okay.
All right.
We have
way back.
We have no fans left in Bangladesh or France.
They're not listening. They're tuning us out.
Yeah.
There you go.
Don't think they're around.
Mm-hmm.
Well, another good note, 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline marks 1 year.
988?
Evidently, I didn't know that was there. So we're getting a look at new data showing the number of people utilizing the new suicide prevention hotline. This past Sunday marks 1 year since the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline became the 3-digit phone number 988. So it's good, folks, that you know that 988 is that hotline. It's up 35% from what the Lifeline typically experienced with its old 10-digit number. Every state handles the hotline differently. It's not nationally run. So
Okay.
There's the 988. Now,
1 year anniversary.
I would like to know how Mississippi handles 988.
You mean who handles it, or how they answer the calls?
That's a good question. We'll have to see on that. So
hang on.
Why don't you try it?
Well, I don't want to call. I don't want to.
I know that's terrible.
I don't want to call it because what if somebody's trying to get through that really needs it?
True.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have that where I don't have a bunch of lines. Just how that works. But evidently,
it's like one person answering one line. I hope not, anyway. But I guess you never know.
How may I direct your call?
Leave a message. Yeah.
I hope it's not. I hope it's not like these places where I call for help. And say, "Hi, you've reached the," whatever.
Bangladesh is once again probably.
Yeah. If you are calling for the first time, dial 1. If you're
for Spanish,
if you've already opened an account, press 2.
Yeah.
I hope it's not like one of those phone trees. Is what I'm saying.
No, I can't stand those. I don't think anybody does.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? Anyway. All right, what else we got in these last 3 minutes?
We did get another candidate we got on the schedule for this week. We mentioned, of course, Sheriff Solly will be here tomorrow for his monthly visit.
He's not a candidate.
Biscuit Day!
Biscuit Day!
Candidate for Sheriff of the Year.
And, of course, I mentioned we got J.J. Anders coming by to see us on Wednesday at 7:30. He's running for District 1 Supervisor. And then Clifford Holloway, who is running in, I believe it's District 3, against Josh Todd. He'll be here on Wednesday at 8. So we did get also heard back from Stella McMahon, corner. And she'll be, hopefully we'll try to get her on the schedule this week as well. So if you have missed any of the candidates and their interviews, we're going to have them on again before we get to August 8th. And also we mentioned earlier, too, that back on Friday we sent invitations out to both of the Republican candidates for sheriff for their day on July the 25th. And we've heard back from War Calhoun. He's agreed to come on the program that day, and we're still waiting word from the Roberts folks. So.
All right, that's all. But hopefully we'll hear from them. We'll have a good program here. As you can see, when we have candidates on, we are a good, fair, and balanced radio program. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show. We got about 1 minute.
Okay, this will be quick. I'm just thinking of some questions that y'all failed to ask Chick. One of them I was going to ask, I said, well, do you like chicks or raise chicks? And I was going to ask him if was he the umpire that was blind in one eye and couldn't see out the other one.
Oh, mercy.
Oh, no.
And the other question was, did he ever consider running for coroner?
Oh, good.
There it is.
Wow. I guess we really missed those questions. You're right.
Okay. Y'all have a good day.
Coroner.
Mornings in Meridian. I'll tell you what, that's it for today. I guess we got to get out of here.
That's right. Glenn Beck is next. Of course, Clay and Buck, Sean Hannity, and Joe Pags.
All right, folks. God bless. Buy local. We'll see you tomorrow.